To get started, you want to thread your cords onto your button and you want to pull them out at equal lengths at either side. And once you've done that, you can take your button and you want to attach it to the top of your board. Then you want to put the longest cords on the outside and then take your shortest ones and clip them to the bottom of your board. And I'm going to start off the pattern with a few extra square knots. So you want to go over, over and through. And complete your square knot by going under, bring this one under and through. You can do as many of these as you want to begin your pattern. So once you've done your first set of square knots, you can start the part of your pattern where you're adding your beads. So I'm going to be using these beads which I got from Wilko. So obviously if you're not in the UK you might not be able to get these from this store, but I have seen similar ones on Etsy and eBay where it's like this. You've got the flower bit there and then it sort of goes outwards at the back rather than the hole going straight down the centre. So this will make it stick out in a sort of 3D effect. So to get started, let's take your 2 centre cords and then take your first colour and you want to thread your bead onto both of your cords. And then you just want to push it up into place and then clip your shortest cords back to the bottom of the board and then you want to do a square knot to hold that in place. So let's go over and through and then under and through. So you can do as many square knots as you want here just to space out your beads. So because it's quite big I'm going to do a few just to give a nice gap. And once you've done as many square knots as you want, you can just add your next bead. So I'm doing a colour sequence here, a sort of rainbow effect, but you could just do the same colour or interchange with 2 different colours. Really, it's up to you, whatever pattern you prefer. So you want to add your next bead in your sequence. And then push that up into place and then clip your shortest cords back to the bottom of the board. And once again, like you did there, just do a square knot to hold the bead in place. And you want to keep repeating this until you've added all the beads in your sequence. So once you've added the last bead in your colour sequence, you want to do the same amount of square knots at the end as you did when you were starting, just to make it symmetrical. So once you've done that and you're happy that everything is nice and secure, you can remove your bracelet from the board. And you want to trim and seal the excess for the working cords, but not the centre ones. So I'm going to be using a lighter to seal, but you could use glue if you prefer. So once you've sealed your working colour, you can take the cords that are left in the centre and tie a knot and then push the knot up to where you did your last square knot. Just pull that tight and then to leave a little bit of a gap and then do another knot, and this is going to create your buttonhole. And to make sure that it will be big enough to fit your button through. And if you want to make it adjustable, you can add another knot after that one. And the same, just leave a gap for your button. And then once you've done that, again, you can trim and seal your excess. and you should end up with something that looks like this. And that is your completed 3D flower bead bracelet.